Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to, do a review on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I actually just saw it yesterday and I just want to give you guys my opinions and, my thoughts on the movie. So let's just, dive right into it. So I wanted to start off with the plot. In my honest opinion, I think it was pretty generic. You know, I would say it's really the same as, the plot of the first story. You get Bowser in the first one. This one you get Bowser Jr. Not really much of a difference. The idea is just going to steal the princess. This one is in a little bit different. In the first one, Bowser wanted her for himself, but in this one, they're doing it for the supernatural power that she contains, and they wanted it for world domination. So I would say the plot is pretty generic. Not only is it similar to the first one, you know you get it in a lot of movies. The villain always has to kidnap, I guess, a woman in distress. The hero has to come and save them, and like I said, they're really just doing it for world domination. So the plot wise, like I said, it's pretty generic, and I would say it's okay in that aspect. Now let's talk about the characters. I really think this is where the Mario movie really shined, because I really enjoyed the first one. I have a little bit of history, with the Mario characters. I grew up playing Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros, a little bit of the Mario games, so I had some knowledge. Not too much, but I don't know, something about the characters from the games to that first movie. Um, my expectations were really high for the second one, and I will say the character development and just the characters in general, to me, like that just made the movie. You add the addition of Yoshi. I really like Yoshi. Yoshi was funny. A lot of people in my movie theaters were in awe of Yoshi. They were laughing, and then the addition of Fox. Like I said, I played, Super Smash Bros. So there was the nostalgia for me. Um, so yeah, I really liked Fox. Like the addition of the characters, and then I like the addition of the other princes as well. Like these characters, you know, I feel like depending on the person, like you can have an attachment to different ones depending on the type of person you have or the type of person you are. So I would say the characters for me like really made the movie, and yeah, it was good. Another addition to the movies, in my opinion, was the visuals. I want to include the sound effects as well, because to me it was just really appealing to the eye. Whether, um, like I said, I know there was a lot of kids in the movie theater. For them, or even like if you're an adult like myself, like it was really appealing to eye. Like the colors were vibrant. Um, Overall, it just looked like a good, authentic, well done movie. Like you could tell that they put their time into it. Obviously, from the first one, like I said, I really enjoyed it. The first one was a major hit. Um, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it went on to make $1 billion. So obviously, the budget for the second one, they obviously wanted to put more money in, put more love into it, make sure, obviously, that they could get that money back, and obviously, just have it good for the consumer, for us. So I would say the visuals was top tier, and then on top of that, like I said, the sound effects, it was good. Like I said, if you ever played the Mario Kart movies, the Super Smash Bros. Or my bad, the Mario Kart games, the Super Smash Bros. Games, just Mario games in general, like you got those sound effects when they're either collecting the coins, hitting the boxes, hitting the mystery box, the power ups. Man, that was just like I said, it was just nostalgia, man. Like I know, like bunch of people in my theaters were happy. They were smiling, laughing, and man, I was smiling myself. Like every time I saw a major character or just visually just seeing it in space, like the colors, like it was just so awesome. I was just shaking my head. Like I said, it really just visually like I didn't have an issue with it at all. And then, like I said, the sound effects were top tier. Um, Whether, like I said, it's like whether you're a kid and you love games, love movies, you had to have liked it, or if you're an adult and you grew up on those games, like I'm telling you, that inner kid inside of you was just super happy. Like myself, I was just happy overall with the visuals and sound effects. So I would give it a 10 out of 10 on that. So I've been seeing a lot of things, either online, social media, saying how this one was, made for kids. And in my opinion, I mean, obviously it's an animated movie. Obviously, those things are going to be more appealing to kids or younger audience. Um, but don't take that away. Like, if you grew up, like I said, playing those games, you're obviously gonna have like the nostalgia for it. So honestly, I would say the audience for it can range. In my opinion, I think it felt a little bit more kiddish, childish compared to the first one. But don't take that away because, like I said, I really enjoyed the first one, and I still think that the second one is made for, all ages really, for kids, for people who grew up on those games, and then also people who just love visually pleasing movies. Um, and yeah, so I would say the audience range anywhere from kid to an elder, in my opinion. So the biggest, thing about the movie is how well did it perform. Obviously, the first one was a box office hit, went on to make $1 billion. They wanted to repeat the process with this one. Most likely, put in a bigger budget. Obviously, you could tell by the visuals, by the sound effects, by adding more characters, really just evolving the story. Um, so, in my opinion, the performance of the movie, um, I don't think because the plot was a little bit lackluster and we've seen it before, I would say the performance dropped on that end. But overall, I would say it really was an enjoyable movie because of the characters, because of the world building, visually appealing, the sound effects. I think one, I know kids are definitely gonna enjoy this movie, and then people who grew up playing the games, they're gonna enjoy it as well. The only hate or kind of dislike I've seen from the movies is just people wanting it to be some type of like big movie, big plot, like either like an MCU movie or like some type of like a Christopher Nolan movie, which obviously that's not the case. Like this is based off of video games. Um, Obviously it's animated, so it's like what do you expect? So performance wise, I would give it like a solid like enjoyable watchable movie. I it kind of like let me down because I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, just because of how that first movie went. But if you are planning on thinking about seeing it, you're kind of hesitant, I would say it's definitely worth your money. Like it's not one of those movies like like I can't believe I watched this, or get out of the movie theater. In my opinion, is very watchable, lovable, and like I said, it was making me laugh and smiling, and I was literally just shaking my head. And like I said, I grew up on the game, so obviously there might have been that little bit biased, but you're not gonna come out of this movie wishing like you just didn't pay your money. Like I said, it performed, I would say, you know, average to slightly above average. You're gonna enjoy it. Is this a movie you'll watch again recently? Probably not, but this is a movie that, like, hey, like if it's on TV, if you like I said, just the nostalgia, the knowledge of on those characters, or you just, kind of want to put on a movie for kids, or even like want to watch it, from time to time, you definitely can. So I would say, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is a movie that you should go watch. Now, let me know if they plan on making a third one. Leave some comments on that. And let me know if you think that they're going to make a Super Smash Bros. Movie slash adaptation towards that, because obviously they're world building, and that would be something I would like to see. But yeah, leave a comment and make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.